Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Energy Newsbeat Daily Stand-Up. My name is Stuart Turley, President and CEO of the Sandstone Group. Today is November 13th. Holy smokes, Batman. What a wild day. Governor Newsom is at it again. California's new fuel rules could raise gas prices by 50 cents a gallon. You can't buy this kind of entertainment. Let's go to the next story here. GOP lawmakers, fishermen urge Trump to keep day one promise to axe offshore wind. This is pretty interesting, and I know the whales will be really happy. Hilcorp bags a $1 billion Permian deal from ExxonMobil, will offload some of its conventional assets. You got to love a good M&A story in the oil field. India aims to become regional refining hub. There's a lot going on in this one. Norway. Let's roll over to Norway. Norway moves to take control over natural gas export network. It's kind of funny how this one has turned the corner. Been covering Norway for a long time. Love Norway, and it's fun to see the changes there. Hey, let's go to California. New fuel rules could raise gas prices by 50 cents per gallon. California's Air Resources Board recently amended the low carbon fuel standard, increasing target reductions despite affordability concerns. Consumer advocates fear this move could raise prices almost 50 cents. You can't buy this kind of entertainment from Governor Newsom. This is on the heels of yesterday's announcement that Trump's new lead, the former candidate for governor up in New York, he's a top-notch dude, and I guarantee you with a new EPA, it's going to be interesting from a national perspective because you have the states that can put their own rules in. So keep an eye on this one. Currently, Californians pay an average of 4.29 per gallon, or 122 above the national average. But again, Governor Newsom is trying to get rid of all oil being produced in the state, but he's importing it from around the world, which is just bad business unless you're getting paid on it. So I'm wondering, follow the money. Let's go to the next story here. GOP lawmakers, fishermen urge Trump to keep day one promise to axe offshore wind. I just saw a video of President Trump saying that he is going to, through executive order, we'll see if this is true, end offshore wind. Republican lawmakers opposed to heavy subsidized green energy and commercial fishermen who the industry as an existential threat to their livelihoods are calling on the president-elect to follow through on his campaign's promise. We are going to make sure that this offshore end day one, and I'm going to write it out in an executive order, Trump told a crowd of his supporters in a rally in Wildwood, New Jersey on May 11th. I couldn't be happier from a standpoint that we need to really evaluate, hey, if offshore wind could stand the fiscal sustainability and the environmental tests, I'm all in on wind. Let's just go ahead and say that right out now. But the Biden-Harris administration have hid reports, misaligned reports. The offshore wind actually pollutes more than they say it is. Where does the money go? It is not fiscally responsible from day one. Who pays for it? The consumers. And so we're seeing the deindustrialization. Have you heard of Germany, the UK? We've seen it in New Jersey, in New York, in California. Green policies equal deindustrialization and then higher energy costs. And President Trump has vowed to cut your energy costs in half. In order to do that, he's going to have to take a fiscally responsible stance to energy, and I applaud that. If wind is fiscally responsible, let's do it. If it's not, and we've been lied to. Let's get rid of it. So let's go to the next story here. Hilcorp bags $1 billion in a Permian deal. ExxonMobil will offload some of its conventional oil assets in the Permian Basin, selling to Hilcorp Energy for $1 billion, according to the industry insiders who spoke to Reuters on Tuesday. This move aligns with Exxon's aggressive shift to higher margin shale plays following its $60 billion acquisition of Pioneer Natural Resources. This seems like a really good deal. I haven't got into it, and I'll have Michael and the team take a look at the stats and the deals, and this might be a good thing for his deal evaluation. One of the things that I have learned over the last several years is that when Michael Tanner tears apart a deal, you can trust his numbers. And quite honestly, the investments that I personally have made in deals, I'm averaging about 32%. So I think this is just a balancing of the books. Exxon expects production to soar 1.3 million barrels per day within the Permian and is on track for 2 million by 2027. I see great things going on. And now, one thing I do want to share is that do not worry. Drill, baby, drill is a saying, but we have to laugh at ESG has had a significant impact to the oil and gas producers in exploration and production out there. They are not just going to go drill, baby, drill. They're going to balance CapEx, and then they're going to balance their expenditures for profits to return to shareholders. So I think there is going to be a lot of balancing. And what we really need is Lee to cut the regulatory actions on it, to cut the expenses, and those costs can be passed on to the consumers while they still maintain their profitability. Pretty exciting stuff going around the corner here. India aims to become a regional refining hub. They have been increasing their downstream capabilities for a very long time. In fact, a quote, if you say that global demand is increasing by 1%, ours is increasing 3 times that, Puri said. In the next 2 decades, 35% of the increase in global demand will come from India. India is set to overtake China soon to become the biggest driver of oil demand growth. This is absolutely critical because when we sit back and take a look, why is that? Well, India is I believe, in the number top purchaser of Russian gas oil. And as the top producer, they are then turning around and refining it, selling the diesel and gasoline back to the EU for continued profits to India and deindustrialization and more pollution to Europe. Unbelievably stupid management in the European Union. And when you take a look at the green policies of Germany, the EU, and the UK, and then how much India is set to take advantage of that, it is green policy hypocrisy that is going on. But you won't pick that up out of this article. Let's go to Norway. Norway moves to take control over natural gas export network. The government launched talks last year with the private companies that hold interest in the 3 joint ventures operating the export network Gaslade, Nemaya, and Porlade. I hope I didn't butcher those up. Norway has sought to take full state ownership of the network before concessions expire in 2028. This is pretty funny because the green policies of Norway in the past were shutting down their natural gas production. Now that the Russian natural gas and the Ukraine war happened, Norway is the single largest provider of natural gas to the EU. And so now, it's a moneymaker for them. And natural gas, quite honestly, is not bad for the environment when it's done correctly. So I got tickled at this article when you sit back and say Norway aims to have full ownership in also Nemanja J5 and Polared J5 as well. The state aims to take remaining interest in these two joint ventures when the licenses also expire. Hats off to Norway. Hey, go get it. Go supply natural gas. Natural gas will allow people to industrialize at a low and cheap rate. And it's better for the environment than is, believe it or not, offshore wind. So I like offshore wind if it is sustainable, but I like natural gas better because it is manageable. So let's take a look at profits. Let's take a look at delivering the lowest cost kilowatt to everyone on the planet with the least amount of impact on the environment. So with that, like, subscribe. Also, if you are coming up on your taxes, now's the time to visit with your CPA. And if you're needing tax investments, tax deductions, give us a call. We've got a few folks that we have heard and reviewed their deals. So let us know. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks and have an absolutely fantastic day. Look forward to speaking to you soon.